Within any sphere of interest, such as electronic music and synthesizers, you'll find little pockets of expertise, of specialism within the community. For example, you have the electronic engineers, the electronics experts. They know their diodes, I can't even say it, they know their diodes from their resistors. They can strip down a synthesizer and repair it and rebuild it. They can take something that's broken and create something that works. And if that happens to be a vintage synthesizer, then they can sell it and make a load of money in the process. And then you have music theorists. Now, they might not know their diodes from their resistors, but they will know their minims from their crotchets. They will know the difference between polymeters and polyrhythms. They will understand what a pentatonic scale is, and chord progressions will be a subject of interest to them. But for the rest of us, well, we just play music, don't we? When I was a very, very young teenager, I showed a lot of promise as a photographer. Photography for me was a massive passion at that time. I absolutely loved it. And I wanted one day when I was older to become a photographer and work for National Geographic magazine. That was my dream. My parents were rather concerned. They wanted me to get a real job. So as a compromise, when I just turned 16, they encouraged me to apply to one of the great British institutions, the BBC, to become a cameraman. So there I was, just turned 16, my first time in London going to an interview. I'd never been to an interview before. I was literally crapping my pants, clutching my little portfolio of photographs. But to my surprise, I got through the interviews, one after the other, until I got to the ultimate interview with the big cheese himself, the head of cameras, as he was called, in his big spacious office. He took one look at me and he must have thought, what the hell happened here? How did that person get in here? Honestly, he must have done. He sat down in his leather chair and he flicked through my portfolio, and then came the questions. What compositional device did you use with this one? And this one? And this one? Over and over again, with repeating urgency, came these questions, and I wasn't able to answer him because I didn't know compositional theory. No one had ever taught it to me. He wanted me to say words like, I don't know, rule of thirds and perspective control and symmetry and asymmetry and a whole load of other terms. I didn't know any of them. I'd learnt photography by holding up a camera to my eye, looking through the viewfinder and adjusting it until it looked good to me. That's what I did, and that's how I've treated music and composition as well. Now, there's nothing wrong with understanding music theory, with understanding the origins and the diversity and the science of music. It's fantastic to understand those things. And heaven knows I'd love to be able to sight read music well enough to be able to play along at the suggested tempo, and I can't. But as it is, I just fumble along and I just make music and play the keys until it sounds good to me. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I do get asked for advice sometimes, and that's the only advice I can give, is to fumble along and make the music that sounds good to you. By all means, go and learn music theory. But I'm not sure whether it'll actually make you be a better composer or create better music as a result. So to play out, I'm just going to play a little snippet of some music that I've got going here. I just recorded it just 5 minutes ago before I switched the there's some different sort of like time signatures going on in there. I have no clue what they are, and I have no clue what I've written, and I have no clue what words you would use to describe it other than shit. But anyway, it's just what I do. I just like to sit down and play stuff until it sounds good. I just keep on fumbling along. That's it until the next video. Thank you very, very much, and keep fumbling along yourselves.